次，请大家将你们的手机调为震动或者关机，谢谢大家的合作。真佛宗美国彩虹雷藏寺莲花童子护摩法会开始，与会大众请起立，恭迎真佛宗创办人无上法王根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛师母莲香上师，请大家虔诚合掌，唱诵莲花童子心咒。 我们一起齐声问候：师尊好，师母好，大家好。顶礼传承，做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印。二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印。三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印。四平等一起手。恭请师尊移步到展示屏，接受尊线上众弟子们的问安。
师尊好，
相如意，欢喜自在，健康长寿。
分享给你，是佛佛陀安康，常住是师尊的加持，佛体安康，佛体安康，佛体安康，
天天开心，
自在，天，处事
欢喜自在，
台湾见喽！祝一健康快乐，爱你爱你爱你，爱你爱你，我们爱你爱你，
天天开心。
我们想见你。白发彻底。
大家
真好，真好，善师尊，大传法轮，有福诸世健康 all the best to you. Love you very much. 我们爱你。 爱你，提安康，提安康，
地球家庭平安康，
这个3年10
我们相信，我们爱你，
健康快乐。
我们爱你，我们爱你，爱你是真，吉祥平安，你的好，1025，
我们爱你，你佛体安康，永远好。
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
We welcome our lineage Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, and now we are inviting His Holiness to ascend to the Dharma throne. Inviting Simu to please take the seats. We're inviting the elders to please take the seats. We're inviting the Dharma masters to please take the seats. And all venerables to please take the seats. We're inviting everybody to please take the seats.
请法王圣尊莲生活佛加持助其者报名表格。
Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to bless the prayers of the primary supplicants. Offering of Hatha. Let's join our palms together, and we would like to invite the Shumat's Master Lian-Man to present the offering of Hatha on behalf of all of us as a symbol of the highest honor to the lineage Guru.
观想真佛宗传承。南无大日如来。
Visualize two Buddha lineage, Namo Vairocana Buddha, Namo Buddhalokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padmakumara, Namo Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas sitting on top of our heads, radiating light to bless us. Recite Padmakumara mantra 7 times.
Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. 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 做数量观，观想。
Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables to the right, ancestors and relatives from the father's side. To your left from the mother's side. Behind us, friends and teachers. In front of us, all enemies and karmic creditors. Around us, all sentient beings, together practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Clap twice and snap your fingers. Recite the purification mantras and the authority mantra.
Om Vajra Hom. Namo Samantong Modaran. Om Dodo Dodo Dewe Soha.
Recite invocation mantra.
Hom Soha. Om A Hom Soha. Om A Hom Soha. 众弟子一心奋起。
We sincerely invoke our lineage root Guru, Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Namo White Maha Padmakumara. Namo Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. Namo True Buddha School Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Padmakumara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Padmakumara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo Padmakumara. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jet Ponds. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Namo 8 primary deities of True Buddha School. Namo Yamantaka, Acala, the 4 heavenly kings. Namo Suma Bodhisattva, Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Quarter, at the Seattle Lechang Temple, and at the abode at the South Mountain Retreat. Rainbow temples, mountain god, earth god, plant god, wind god, water god, heavenly fire god, dragon gods, and all divinities as well as the city gods to please radiate light and bless this Homa. First to root Guru and all Buddhas. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become to fill the whole cosmos. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, The main deity of Homa, Padmakumara, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Hedukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. He said the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, four continents, and sun and moon transform into places offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to allow our civilization. For full refuge, visualize our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, Sangha jewel, to form bright white light to empower us. He said the mantra. Namo Kurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhamoye, Namo Sankhyaye, Namo Kurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhamoye, Namo Sankhyaye. Armor protection from Vajra Club's Mudra, recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times. Om Boranjali, Om Boranjali, Om Boranjali, Om Boranjali, Om Boranjali, Om Boranjali. Inviting His Holiness to perform blessings with mala. Inviting the Dharma Kings, Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, to set ceremonial demarcation, to bless the registration forms, Homa cards, and all the offerings.
请大家起立，恭敬合掌。
Stand up and join your palms. And together we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set some authentication around it, to make all the offerings, to perform mudra transformations, for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and birth deliverance. And we are inviting all participants to please chant the heart mantra of Padmakumara.
上西。
Recite that mantras of 8 principal deities.
Namo 36万亿11万9500同名同号阿弥陀佛。Namo 36万亿11万9500同名同号阿弥陀佛。Namo 36万亿11万9500同名同号阿弥陀佛。
Recite the supplication to the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions, compassionate Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. 3 jewels emanate wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead that you stay in the Saha world to turn the Dharma wheel, to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Merit dedication. May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, reaping fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha school disciples, wholeheartedly pray to the main deity of Homa today, Padmakumara, the greatly prosperous Vajra, to radiate the all-encompassing precious light to bless, protect our lineage Guru with great health, strong body, robust energy, youthfulness, longevity, Dharma wealth, material wealth, and windfalls, fulfilled resources, harmony, love and respect, joy and happiness, self-mastery, unhindered spontaneous activities to never forsake any single sentient being, continually turn the Dharma wheel so that Tantric Buddha Dharma can continue to flourish in all 10 directions. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Homage to Sukhavati's Mahatwain Lotus Ponds, Padmakumara Yidam. Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Om. We pray to Padmakumara. To radiate bright light to Sukhavati's Mahatwain Lotus Ponds, Padmakumara Yidam. To Sukhavati's Mahatwain Lotus Ponds, Padmakumara Yidam. We pray that you guide the birth of spirits with affinity, birth of spirits without affinity, to be reborn into Sukhavati Pure Land, the realm of utmost bliss. Please radiate bright light and bless us. With good health, all wishes fulfilled, calamities transformed into auspiciousness and strong spiritual commitment. We pray that you bestow ample resources. Please bestow complete wisdom. Please bestow love and respect and perfect harmony. And please bestow the subjugation of everything. We pray to the Yidam, Guru and Protector. May the Yidam absorb. May the Guru empower and the Protector support and protect. To Sukhavati's Mahatwin Lotus Ponds, Padmakumara Yidam, and gods in heavens, gods on earth, may be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us, let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted according to our wishes. We pray to Padmakumara Yidam, to break apart all bad affinities, to destroy the pandemic, and to destroy the coronavirus, and to destroy all viruses. May all beings have a healthy and peaceful body and mind. May we calm down and settle to practice diligently. We pray to Padmakumara to please bless us. We say 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Tathagata Pezamami Mancha Pezabawa Maha Samaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Peza Sato Samaya Malupanaya Peza Sato Tenu Padicha Zezo Mepawa Soto Kayu Mepawa Sopo Kayu Mepawa Anurato Mepawa Shawa Sidi Membunaya Sa Shawa Kama Sutame Jitamu Sini Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pezamami Mancha Pezabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Peza Sato Samaya Malupanaya Peza Sato Tenu Padicha Zezo Mepawa Soto Kayu Mepawa Sopo Kayu Mepawa Anurato Mepawa Shawa Sidi Membunaya Sa Shawa Kama Sutame Jitamu Sini Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pezamami Mancha Pezabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei
Great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full procession on the ground. Release the mudra. Second, to all bodhisattvas. Visualize full procession on the ground. Release the mudra. Third, to all herukas and dhamma protectors. Visualize full procession on the ground. Release the mudra. Fourth, head bow. Recite completion mantra. Let's give the greatest round of applause to show our gratitude to our lineage Guru for presiding over this Padmakumara Homa fire offering ceremony. Now let us join our palms with reverence, and together we inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teachings. First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tubten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar, and homage to the main deity of Homa today, Sukawati's Maha Twin Lotus Ponds, Padmakumara Yidam. Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. Simo Tanzan Gatso Tutan Siddhi. All Dharma teachers, Dharma educators, Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internets. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
아이스테르 사랑해 오라미코 깨깨로무초 스코인 이지만 김어지 주미 야비 브린브린 konnichiwa.
First, I would like to announce for next Sunday, October 24th, at 3 p.m. there will be Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Homa fire offering ceremony. We all know about Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, that this Bodhisattva appeared in the Saha world the most, and have delivered infinite sentient beings and has myriad emanations. whenever we mention Buddhism, there would be no one that will never know Guan Yin or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva canon. When we were young, we call it the Guan Yin Shrine. At the center, the main deity is Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And we refer to it as Guan Yin Sara or Guan Yin Shrine. In Taiwan, each household and family, whether you're Taoist or Buddhist or just the local beliefs, they sometimes would have the Guan Yin Shrine. Everybody knows Guan Yin of Buddhism because his affinity with the Saha world is the deepest and has the most deliverance, and he's also a Dharma prince. Amitabha Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahastama-prapta Bodhisattva. They are the Trinity, the Trinity of the West, from the Sukhavati or the Western realm of Atmos bliss or Western paradise. So sometimes when you chant Amitabha Buddha, you also want to chant Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and Namo Mahastama-prapta Bodhisattva. So Amitabha Buddha is the guiding Buddha, and alongside him are the two greatest bodhisattvas. They are Dharma princes, and he delivered the most sentient beings, or he delivers the most sentient beings. Talking about Tibetan Tantric Buddhism, basically the whole Tibet is the spiritual center of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. The whole Tibet is his spiritual center. And furthermore, there are many who are transformations of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. We often mention Dalai Lama, who's also an emanation of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Karmapa also. Karmapa, the Dharma King, they are all emanations of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Panchen Lama, they said that he's an emanation of Amitabha Buddha. So, the emanation of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is countless. And the Tibetan kings, Songtsen Kampo, the first one who advocated Buddhism and built the temples, the Ramochi temple and the temple. Songtsen Kampo is the emanation of the 11th phase Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. So he emanated the most. So Jokang Temple and Ramochi Temple. So he continuously sit on the salvation vessel of delivering beings. So he's truly great. You don't become primary supplicants, it would be a pity. But each deity is truly great. When my mother was alive, she often chanted the Universal Gate Sutra of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Every day she chanted that. And for me, every day I would chant the Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra. That's also Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva or Kuan Yin. In my bedroom, in the South Mountain Retreat, the main deity at the center is the 8-armed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Also Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. So the emanation of Avalokitesvara, right? Hiking Avalokitesvara. And then inside there are also 4 Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. The hiking. The 4 Avalokitesvara inside the hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. They are the great wisdom Kuan Yin, observant Kuan Yin, noble Kuan Yin, and expansively minded Kuan Yin. There are many transformation emanations of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Of the 8 great Bodhisattvas, the first one is also Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. My mother now is in the South Sea, Buddhaloka Mountain. At the Mount Buddhaloka of the South Sea, that's the place of my mother. And my mother was also an emanation of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Because Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva in the Kuan Yin shrine, there is the peace bird above him. And in front of her or him is the Santai youth and the girl. And there's also one that's the peace bird is carrying chanting beads in her mouth. So my mother was an emanation of the peace bird. Someone brought a Garuda statue to my house, and my mom had a dream of the Garuda and the peace bird were competing in the flying. And the Garuda flew really fast. And in a short time, already orbited the earth 7 times. And the peace bird of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva was so tiny, it could not win over Garuda. So he looked back, where's the peace bird? It turned out that he was seated on top of his head. So my mother won. So she had this dream that, and she told us that she flew in a race, in a flying race with the Garuda. She did not have to fly. She just sat on top of the head of Garuda and then orbited around the earth for 7 times. That is great. So be the primary supplicant then. And today we had the Padmakumara Homa. There's no need to introduce Padmakumara. We all know during the Tang dynasty of China, There are already children singing the rhyme. The lotus youth meets the golden sage. The flowers shower around. Marvelous sound heard above the clouds, talking about the utmost bliss beyond heavens. There were 10 of these children rhymes. Even the children were able to chant it during the Tang dynasty. That's Padmakumara, lotus youth. The lotus youth meets the golden sage. The flower showers swirling in the sky around us. I made it up. It's either way is fine. Everywhere or in the sky or in the space, swirling around. And the marvelous sound heard above the clouds, talking about the utmost bliss beyond the heavens. So, the Sukhavati is above the 3 realms of the heavenly realms of no form of desire. So during the Tang dynasty, the children already chant this, the rhymes already there. Therefore, Padmakumara is truly great. I saw the TV monitor in Zoom. There were 3 that I often see. The little Anhui from mainland China. I'm just talking about the ones from China. The little Anhui, the little Shanghai, and the little Canton. I saw them. And how about Grandmaster? Little. I'm the little Fujian. My great-grandfather was called Lu De-jie. Jie from Jiyin. And he's from Fanyang, Zhangzhou, Fujian. Fanyang, Zhangzhou, Fujian province. My great-grandfather. Fujian. At that place in Fanyang, Zhangzhou, Fujian, the Lu family name is a major family name. It's at the center of the Fanyang city. There is the Lu clan. And we have many, over 20 prime ministers. Family shrine at the center of the city. From the Shang dynasty to the Ming dynasty, we produce over 20 Zaixiang, prime minister, and one of them is called Lu Zi, and you all know, very famous. They all family with family name Lu. So my great-grandfather. So Fanyang from Zhangzhou in Fujian province, Lu De-jie. And my grandfather left Fujian, immigrated to Jingmen, and then moved to Penghu, then to Taiwan, Jiayi,
到了台湾嘉义。
to Jiayi in Taiwan.
那福建范阳的市中心就有卢。
And at the city center of Fanyang, there was the Lu, the family shrine of the Lu clan.
卢桥。
And one of our relatives is called Lu Qiao, and he did not come to Taiwan.
开了一家。
He stayed in Penghu,
澎湖人叫妈根。
who opened a
我们称为
马
马
公
公，就是马公市最大的一个，澎湖的最大的一个市，开了一家中。
the Ma Gong city in Penghu County or island,
叫做卢桥。
and opened a what?
那
Open
么他的这个后代叫卢朝
restaurant or something. Lu Cao Hong is my cousin
塞苏啊，我们
at the CE of Penghu.
叫做塞苏。
In Taiwanese, it's called Sai Su.
从跨海
So the Transocean,
就是到塞苏。
the bridge, if we cross the bridge, we would arrive at Sai Su.
在古代叫
And in the ancient time, it's called the Fisherman Island. Now we call it CE.
曹洪，我的堂兄。
My cousin Lu Cao Hong built
市中市。
also a family shrine of the Lu clan.
啊，你们如果有到这个
So, if you ever visit or travel to Penghu Island from Taiwan, many people would go there, and you cross the bridge to CE,
那么你可以去参观
and then you can
祖先的
see
市中市。
the family shrine of the Lu clan of our ancestors.
我们的父母宝殿还要大。
You know, and the shrine is even bigger than this Homa hall.
也是有中庭。
There's the center hall, the front and the back halls.
而且我
It's really big. I went there and give blessings. That's the ancestors of the Lu clan.
小福建。
So that's why I called myself the little Fujian.
对。
Right?
我曾祖父卢德杰。
My great-grandfather Lu Dejie
范阳。
is from Fanyang, Jiangsu, Fujian province.
这个祖父卢昌。
And my grandfather Lu
是
Chang
在嘉义开这个油行。
in Jiayi opened the rice and oil business operated.
会计。
And my mother was an accountant at the rice
所以进水。
business.
我爸爸就娶了我妈妈。
So my father married my mother. My mother was also from Penghu.
也是西语塞苏，我们称为塞
It
苏。
was from CE
那里有一个卢氏
city or town. And there was the family shrine of the Lu clan from Fanyang.
那我不是小福建是谁？
So if I'm not the little Fujian, what would I be?
小安徽。
So I called you the little Anhui, little Shanghai, little Canton, and I'm the little Fujian.
都是一样，
We're all the same.
都是一样。我在这个论上面看到很多
In Zoom, I saw many.
这个，看到很多莲花童子。
Many lotus youths, really, many Padmakumaras.
里面有几个莲花童子，我都叫得出名字。
In Zoom, there are several Padmakumaras. I can call their names from Malaysia.
我看到2个莲花童子。
There are 2 Padmakumaras. I saw 2.
香港，
Hong Kong,
我也看到。
I also saw.
印尼也有，
Indonesia
印
too.
尼也有。 莲花童子在里面。
many Padmakumaras inside
台湾也
Zoom, also Taiwan.
现在呢，因为这个
Now
这个不敢乱认。
I don't dare to recognize randomly. Also Singapore too. They are also Padmakumaras. There are many, several of them. I recognize, acknowledge several Padmakumaras who have very strong affinities.
人生啊，
Human life,
是四海之内，
really, that and inside the four oceans, we are all brothers.
其实都是亲人。
We are all closely related. We are all very close.
所以那么多的莲花童子在沙漠世界，
So many Padmakumaras in the Saha world.
生活中一定会兴旺。
So True Buddha School will definitely flourish.
讲几个笑话吧。
Let me share a few
有一
jokes.
个年轻人呢，高考的时候
A young man
替别人
who
被抓到，
took the high school tests on behalf of somebody else, and he was
监狱里
caught.
面的人问
So he was
他
imprisoned, and the prisoners asked him, "How did you get in?"
你可能不相信，
And the young man
是
said,
考进来的。
"You wouldn't believe it, because I came in through the tests." It's a little bit play of words in Chinese.
真的是考进来的。
That is true.
带人家考，
So it's like you passed the test and you got in. But it's also because of the tests I got in.
跟朋友聚餐，快迟到了， 于是叫
Eating out with a friend, and it's almost late, so I called a taxi.
先生，麻烦你开快一点，
Oh, driver, please drive faster.
非常快，
So, and he drove really
我
fast.
看不清楚。
I cannot even see the pedestrians on the street, and pass through the red lights too. And I get worried and said, if you speed too much, then the police will stop you and
放心，
punish and would confiscate your driver license. And the driver said, "Don't worry, I have no driver license."
好吧，我们进入这个
Okay, now we will
你问我吧。
do the question and answer.
加拿大莲花
From Canada, Lian-Hua Yu-Chan,
弟子顶礼根本传承上师圣
your disciple pay homage to the lineage of Guru, living Buddha Lian-Sheng.
师母好，
Great Master, how are you? Simu, how are you?
生活
Please
在人间
advise
的时候以认识
when True Buddha School disciples
人间
get to know each other in the human world,
朋友等。那么在
like our family and friends, and in the future, if we all go to the Pure Land and we meet again,
知道彼此
would we know each other
后已经认识，是否
that we already know each other in the human world, and would we remember what has happened
变
before?
成祝福师尊师母
Thank you.
身体健康
We wish Grandmaster and Simu health and happiness in your life. Very simple question.
彼此都认得
That we know each other, we are True Buddha disciples, fellow disciples in the human world, and then we go
双莲池
to heavens or in the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds, would we know each other still?
告诉你很简单，认
Very
得
simple. Yes. You would know each other.
我保证你认得。
I guarantee.
为什么我这样子讲呢？
Why did I say this?
很简单，
Very simple.
在天上的时候啊，
When you're in heavens,
都带有那一种
you bring that kind of taste,
那个味道，那个光。
characteristic, that light.
当你在显现那个光明的时候，
When you emit that
这
light
光明一闪，
with that rays of
马
light,
上就认得。
immediately you would know who you are. Who am I?
马上就认出来。
Immediately you would recognize.
那个很多的光哎，
There's so many different lights.
有什么比喻？
What analogy can I use?
知识吧，那个知识。在
Knowledge.
生的时候有一个知识。
Like if you have a certain knowledge when you were on earth,
很远，我看像雷藏寺。
like from far away,
这样子。
like at the temple and someone's walking like this,
我就知道那是九如。
then I would know that that's Juru.
很远呐、我不要看到他的脸呐、
I haven't seen his face, it's from far away.
我就知道那是九如啊。
Then I would know that's
只要看到一个
Juru.
小小的影子，
Even the very small shadow moving,
知道是谁，
I would know who that is.
就是那个影子。
So that the shadow,
你在天上见一样的，
the same in the heavenly world,
一个影子
the reflection,
在。
the image, the light that you emit would carry that image.
你就说，哎，就是你呀、
That's you.
马上就可以认得出来。
Immediately you would recognize.
就保证认得，保证
It's guaranteed you would
可以
know.
看出你是谁，
Even from very far away, you can recognize who that is.
出来那个光的知识。就
It's just the way the light was emitted. Then
到了天上，
the characteristic of the light would
到
be
光阴天，
you would recognize immediately.
只是放光而已。
Like if you go to heavens of sound and light, then there are only lights there. So with the flickers of the light, that's like a language, like communication.
传达你的信息，它是
So they use light to communicate,
叫光阴天。
to pass information. That's the heaven of light and sound.
声音，这是光
So that means that light
这就是
acts like sound in that
当
heaven.
过兵的，当过海军，海军
So if you had been in the military or the navy,
起来，两只旗子，
that you would understand the signs of the flags. Two flags up, one like this, what it means,
这样
like this.
这个叫旗，
That's the flag language.
以旗子代替语言。
We use the flags in place of the language.
海军的时候训练旗语，
In the early times when we were in the navy,
就是
we trained in this flag language,
旗的语。
the signs using flags.
我们很远，不用看到人，
So we don't even have to see the person.
知道
We just see the flag signs and we would know what he's talking about. That's called the flag language.
也是用光来代替什么？
And the Navy sometimes also use
军的
lights.
时候你待过海军，那
If you've been in the
两
Navy,
边互相打灯，那灯
when the ship passing each other, they would flash the lights, and with the signs you would know what the other ship is talking about. That's called the light language. And of course there's telegram. So the person who receives the telegrams, then you can check that's the language. Then you would know what's written. When you get to the Sukhavati, the Western realm of Atmos bliss, when the light is illuminated, I would know who that is. So that's the characteristic of seeing the light. That's the answer to Lian-Hua Yu-chan from Malaysia, from Canada. Because I have stayed at the Mahatwin Lotus Ponds of Sukhavati, so I understand about the light language. So then you would know whether you would recognize whether you know the person or not, or know the other party or not. That's the light language. The second question from Taiwan, Lian-Hua Ru Hua. Grandmaster and Sumo, how do you do? I was reading Grandmaster's book, Insight on Adversities. In it, there is an article. One night, Amitabha Buddha transmitted to me the 7 treasures, 8 jewels offering Dharma practice. Amitabha Buddha said, Padmakumara, remember this offering visualization practice. It is as follows. By the power of your mind, transform and manifest the dense clouds offerings. Inside the clouds there appears boundless gold covering the ground. At the center, the vast 8 meritorious water. At its center, a wish-fulfilling jewel tree growing, filled with thriving leaves, flowers, and fruits. The roots are completely gold, the trunks are silver, branches lapis lazuli, leaves crystals, flower petals are rubies. The pistils are pearls, the fruits are diamonds. On the branches there are many strings of jades, pearls, corals, and all rare precious items. Among the leaves, the branches, there appear all sorts of food, clothing, abodes, transportations, and many more functional necessities. As the breeze blows on the tree, it naturally emits the esoteric and exoteric Dharma sounds. The treasure tree emits bright radiance, radiating throughout the 10 Dharma realms. Amidst the light, there abide the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and celestial beings, radiating brilliance. Anyone sees, hears, smells the illuminating tree will have their afflictions completely eradicated, immaculately pure, all wishes fulfilled, and each one attaining Buddhahood. Amitabha completed the transmission and he said, Lian-Sheng, Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. So, your disciples can practice this offering practice. So when we see, hear, smells the illuminating trees, will they have their afflictions completely eradicated, all wishes fulfilled, immaculately pure, and attaining Buddhahood? So this article is the same as the refuge tree. In True Buddha School, we have the refuge tree. Today, during the Padmakumara Homa, they don't use just Padmakumara, one deity, but the whole refuge tree appeared. the whole refuge tree. Could you please shoot the image of the refuge tree?
这个是皈依术啊，这个阿弥陀佛所讲的。This is the refuge tree spoken by Amitabha Buddha. The visualization, offering visualization practice. What's written here is to describe the refuge tree. It's not appearing on the screen yet. What? How long do we have to wait? When we got off the class. So just now what we read about the offering visualization practice actually is the refuge tree. If you cannot show it on the screen, it's okay too. So her question is, by reading this article, does it mean that we have seen and heard the illuminating tree and therefore our afflictions completely eradicated and we become completely pure, our wishes fulfilled, and we then can we practice this? Of course. This is for you to practice. So this is the refuge tree. A tree. So the offering visualization practice, if you follow this method, then you can swiftly eradicate afflictions, become pure, all wishes fulfilled, and attain Buddhahood. That is correct. As long as you can visualize the refuge tree, and you can visualize it very clearly, and you sit in front of the refuge tree, and by looking at it, you are mindful of it, then you would reach single-pointedness because all your thoughts focus on the refuge tree. And then if you can merge with the refuge tree, that would be zero. That's meditation. And if you merge, then you would become completely pure, afflictions completely eradicated. When you're mindful of the refuge tree, of course your afflictions are eradicated because you're not thinking of anything else. You're just mindful of the refuge tree. So you reach the one, which is single-pointedness. And of course, afflictions are completely eradicated. Then, of course, once it's eradicated, you're completely pure. And since you're completely pure, all wishes, of course, fulfill. Then whatever you wish for will manifest. And if you rely on the refuge tree, there are many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas inside the refuge tree. Then, of course, each one would attain Buddhahood. So that's steps by steps. With the refuge tree, and you sit in front of the refuge tree, and you visualize according to the teaching of Amitabha Buddha. So manifest the dense clouds gathering. Inside the clouds there appears boundless gold covering the ground. At the center, the vast eight meritorious water. At its center, a wish-fulfilling jewel tree growing, filled with thriving leaves, flowers, and fruits. Its roots are gold, trunks silver, branches lapis lazuli, leaves crystals, flower petals rubies, pistils pearls. The fruits are diamonds. On the branches there are many strings of jades, pearls, corals, and all rare precious items. Among the leaves and the branches there appear all sorts of food, clothing, abodes, transportations, and many more. As the breeze blows on the tree, it naturally emits the esoteric and exoteric Dharma sounds. The treasure tree emits bright radiance radiating throughout the 10 Dharma realms. Amidst the light, there abide the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dharmapas, Dakinis, and celestial beings radiating light. When you focus, that's 1. When you merge, that's 0. If you're able to merge, that's 0. And then, of course, immaculately pure, all wishes fulfilled, and each one is attaining Buddhahood. That's the answer to Lian-Hua Ru-Hua from Taiwan. Therefore, the refuge tree is very important. And if you visualize the refuge tree, it's the same as the offering Dharma practice of the 7 treasures, 8 jewels, or the offering visualization practice. Let me tell a joke. A nun got home and got a ride from the father, a Catholic nun. But the womanizing father placed his hand on the leg of the nun. And the nun was shy and asked the father, "Do you remember what's written in the Bible, Psalm 193? And the father was embarrassed and then took his hand back. And then he opened the Bible, and it was written that if you go deeper, you would get boundless bliss. And then when he read that, he said, "Oh God, because I didn't study hard, so I lost." Of course, this is just a joke because I've been reading the Bible for so long, but I don't know what 193 page. 193. I know book 1 is Genesis, the first book of the Bible. And then when you open the middle, that's the Psalms. And then the last one is and then the Revelation is the last book. Mark, Matthew, Lucas, John. Matthew. That's the New Testament. And then when I look at the center, that's Psalms. And then the first one is Genesis. And the last one is Revelation. And then in the New Testament, it's Matthew, Mike, Lucas, Peter, John. So I was a Bible study teacher, but I don't know what was the 193rd. So that's why there was just a joke. Matthew, Mark, Lucas, John.
这个有人问出家人，你总是在修行，最终得到了什么？
Someone asked a monk, so you're always cultivating, what have you got? And he replied, nothing. So that person asked, so why are you cultivating then? And the monk smiled and said, but I can tell you what I have lost. I gradually losing complaining, relying, dilemmas, or narrow-mindedness, or nitpicking, or self-accusations, or pessimism, or hope, or shallowness, or short-sightedness. I also lost disturbances and hindrances. So it's not adding, but losing, subtracting. So the goal is not to get anything, but to let go of things. So I let go of my myriad thoughts and I don't add my own wish. So I have said it. No expectations, then you will not be disappointed. I often say that if you have no expectation, then you will not be disappointed. Now, what does Grandmaster Lu expect now? Nothing. No expectations. Don't you expect True Buddha School to get bigger? No. I never thought that way. Don't you expect that you would deliver more sentient beings? No. I never thought that way. I never think this way. I often say that I deliver 5 million sentient beings. It will never increase. 5 million stays 5 million. I never say, oh, now it's 5.5 million, or now 6 millions. No. It's always 5 millions. 5 millions. I don't expect more or less. It doesn't matter, even if it decreases. And they all leave, and I'm the only one left. That's okay for me. All of you have left and said bye-bye. You now believe in others. That's fine. Go ahead. It's okay. Doesn't matter. If I can deliver, I deliver. If I cannot, that's fine. I cannot. So with no expectations, there will be no disappointments. You will live very happily. That's putting down or letting go. Now we will expound on Vajra Sutra. It's already 5:03. Then, continuing from yesterday, Subhuti, what does it mean? Can once returner think this way? I have attained the fruition of a once returner. Subhuti replied, no, world honored one. Why? Because Sakadagami is called the once returner, yet in reality he does not come nor go. Therefore he is called a Sakadagami or once returner. Subhuti, what does it mean? Can a Sakadagami think this way? I have attained the fruition of Sakadagami. That's the second level of hardship. That's called Sakadagami. Does he often think that he had attained the fruition of the once returner or Sakadagami? No, you don't think that way. Let me give you an example. The fish, when it swims in the water, would it think that I am now inside the water? No need. He's inside the water. He doesn't have to think about the water. So you attain the Sakadagami, you don't need to think about it because I'm already in the water. And already in Sakadagami already. Why are you thinking about it all the time? That's an example. So like we live in the air, are we thinking about the air all the time? Air, 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 air. Air here, air there, air at the center. Inside the blankets also air. And in the toilet there's air. Air everywhere. Inside the storeroom or the office. You don't need to think about the air. The air naturally is around you all the time. You don't need to think about it. So that's what the Buddha meant to Subhuti. So someone that has attained Sakadagami, would they think about the Sakadagami or hardship all the time? No, no need. Because you're already amidst it. Why would you be thinking about it all the time? No need. That's what it means. The fish is in water and, oh, I swim here, it's water. I swim there, it's water. And you don't need to think about it. You're in water at all time and you're a fish. And we are a human being. And we live in air, amidst the air. Why are you always mindful of the air? Or we often say that they treat me as the air, which means to treat you as a human being. You come here and someone ignore you completely and you think that they treat you as the air. And then you get upset. They don't greet you and they even just glare at you a little bit. So when you're treated as the air, means like as if you don't exist. But actually the air always exists everywhere. So no, world honored one. Why? Because Sakadagami is called the once returner, yet in reality he does not come nor go. Therefore he is called a once returner. So once coming or going once. That's called the Sakadagami. The meaning of the once returner, which is the second level of arhatship, it means that you have to come back to the human realm once, and then afterwards he returns to the heavenly realm or the four sagely realm. That's the second arhatship. He must return to the human realm at least once. That's the cause and condition. But he's got to the human realm, but still as if he does not come nor go. Why? Think about the one from yesterday. So, living in the world is the same as not living in the world. That's why it's called the living in the world. That was called Sotapanna from yesterday, stream enterer. But in reality, he does not enter anything because he maintains his purity. That is correct. And Sakadagami wants to return to the human realm, but he needs to maintain his purity before he goes back to the heavens. Actually, he never gets to the human world, and the human world is the contaminated, evil world. As soon as it's the big pickling pot, as soon as you get here, you're polluted, contaminated. You become kimchi. Kimchi is like a big pickling pot, and all the vegetables placed inside, and all kinds of spices, and then you pickle it for a year or 2 years, not that long. But after time, everything tastes the same, and that's kimchi or pickled vegetables or pickles. One taste. Because when you enter the contaminated world, which is the human world, which is the big pickling pot, all the people, then you learn all the bad habits and habitual tendencies of the human world, and then you will not be able to go back. What can you do? Let me tell you, I have seen a Sotapanna. When I was studying in the Survey Engineering College, I had a girlfriend, not a girlfriend, but a female friend. It's a friend, it's a female friend, but not a girlfriend. It's an employee in the office of the Survey Engineering College. When I was studying in the college, I knew her, and she was older than I was, so I called her Big Sis. So it makes things easy for me to take care of things. So one time I went to her house. After my divine eye was opened, I visited her house, and her mom, her sisters, one of them, gave birth to this small size, and she said, this is her older sister. How come so tiny? Because she, like soft bones, could not move at all, just can open the eyes and look at the mom. And still beautiful. She could not talk. The whole bodies, the bones are all like soft bone. And over 20 years, and still it has the chondrosis, and only she could only open her eyes. And I looked into her eyes and I saw the foundation. And it turned out that she was a sage. She was a once returner, second level arhatship. Sokamagami. So I told her, do you highly respect your older sister? And she said, ever since she was born, she was with chondrosis, with soft bones. But all of us, including our parents and siblings, really love and protect this chondrosis big sister and wanted to protect her from any harms so that she can continue to live. And the skin is very clean and fair. The eyes are full of wisdom, but she could not speak, could not understand anything, could not know anything. Just the two eyes emit the wisdom light. And I saw it from her eyes. And I told them, this kid is Sakadagami, and they don't know what that is. So it is actually it's not arhat but Sakadagami. So she only had to come back to the world one time. So in order to maintain her origin, she found her benefactor that could protect her and to be born in the human realm. Could not move at all, not her arms or legs, her ears could not hear, could not speak, and she could eat to maintain her body. And one day when she dies, that's one's returner, and she's a Sakadagami. So did she create karma in the world? No. So therefore, when she returns, she still maintains the second level arhatships, the Sakadagami. So she has completed her destiny of having to return to the Saha world once. Why? The parents really love her. She's a chondrosis, like if she had been born in our family, a useless child would have been beaten to death long ago. But how come? They never beat her, and they all love her, and they all carry her, taking turns. She just slept and opened her eyes all her life. And all her siblings make offering to this kid, and the parents too. So she found the good benefactors and be born in that family. So she did not create any karma because she could not say anything evil. She could not kill because she could not move. She could not steal. She did not have infidelity, a double tongue, or evil words. She could not speak. Drink alcohol, she did not. She just drank milk. And she could not do anything else. So she never created any karma. And because she did not create any karma, after she was born and died in the Saha world and being buried by the parents quietly, then she returned to her original sagehood. So she completed that once returning. So I use this analogy The Sakadagami, the second level of hardship, had such phenomena, but not each one of Sakadagami. But the smart one would use this kind of way to be born in a family that loves and protects her, like Chondrosis. All the parents and siblings loved and protected her till she died. So that's an example of a Sakadagami who comes and goes once. Now do you understand? If I did not have such experience, I could not explain it. Why? Why? When one comes and goes from the Saha world, but actually they don't have it. They did not come and go. What does it mean? So, did they come to Saha world? Yes. Did they go? Yes. But in reality, there is none. So, because he did not create any karma, not good karma, not bad karma, so that's the same as not coming and going. So, just by coincidence that Grandmaster had opened his divine eye and looked into the eyes and knew. Of course, Sakadagami is Sanskrit. So many once returner appears in this way. So someone with chondrosis, all soft bones, cannot move, cannot do anything, just the eyes can open and eat and nothing else. So the 5 precepts of not killing, not stealing, not lying, not infidel, and not drinking alcohol, all none are breached. And because of that affinity, they comes and goes once and then return to the sagehood. If Grandmaster did not have such experience, it would be impossible to explain that the once returner comes and goes once, and yet in reality does not come and go. They have to be reincarnated as a human being, but once you're reincarnated as a human being, it's very difficult to return to your sagehood, because the human world is the big pickling pot. You would become kimchi. And once you become kimchi, then you start to have tastes of those habitual tendencies like killing, stealing, infidelity, and double tongue, and evil words, and intoxicants, and alcohols, everything. Unless you comes here and immediately you get to know spiritual cultivation, and immediately you shut off the 6 thieves, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So is this a good example? Because of this example, I can explain. Without this example, it would be very difficult to explain. Because human beings always have habitual tendencies, jealousies, envy, selfishness. Just now we chanted this habitual tendencies.
这个肤浅、短视。
shallowness, short-sightedness, disturbances, foolishness, narrow-mindedness, pessimism, complaining, relying. They're all habitual tendencies. So today, in our spiritual cultivation, we have no worries, no afflictions. What do we practice? Stop any expectations. You don't expect anything, then you will not be disappointed. And nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to lose. I don't wish to gain anything either. You need to understand. Every one of you practice the best you can and reach the first level of our hardships, second level of our hardships, the third level of our hardships, and fourth level of our hardships. There are 4 levels of our hardships. Next time we will explain Anahan. This is very good. Long ago, there was a king who was seeking for a statement that would make happy people sad and make the sad people happy. And he couldn't find it for a long time. And then one night, the wise told him that everything will pass, whether it's good or bad. Nothing lasts for eternity. When you lost and suffering, you can tell yourself everything will pass. When you are successful and you get everything, you also need to know that everything will pass. This is what I said. Everything will pass. Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you very much to His Holiness Precious Dharma teaching. Now we're inviting His Holiness to pay homage, and this ends the English interpretation today. Thank you very much.
做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印。二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印。三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印。四平等一起受。恭请世尊。 移步到展示屏，接受顺线上的弟子们感恩和道别。
感恩师尊，
谢谢师尊，
感恩师尊的加持，谢谢师尊。法轮，
师尊的加持，
师尊，谢谢师尊的法尊的加持，谢谢师尊。
师尊，
我爱你，
好想你，爱你这个，爱你爱你，谢谢，爱你哦，
人生是地哦，
好想你，
感谢。
我们中
好，师尊好，师尊好。
就是
师尊，谢谢师尊，
谢谢师尊。
好上台，
大加持，
我好想你，好想你，
师尊
好，
谢谢师尊。
我们爱
师尊，我们爱你哟，
师尊，
没有，我们爱
师尊，
真的大加持，
我们爱你，
真的大加持，都自在，
刚好有这圣量的
平安康，永久安宁，真法轮自由自在，师尊，
好，谢谢师尊，谢谢孙线上的同门，谢谢你们，下周见。
再
下周见。我们等一下，恭请师尊为大家观。 恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛为与会大众做莲花童子法灌顶，含有皈依灌顶。
生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽。
还没有接受灌顶的同门，请你们赶快过来接受灌顶，灌顶即将要结束了。还没有接受灌顶的同门，请你们赶快过来接受灌顶，灌顶即将要结束。让我们以最热烈的掌声感谢法王圣尊莲生活佛慈悲赐授莲花童子法灌顶。我们一起顶礼感恩师尊，谢谢师尊。